the magic begin.
Thank you all very much around the world. Greetings to you all. Thank you for all being here and present. And present will be the absolute priority of where we're working with this today. We are starting the Kabbalah, and traditionally the Kabbalah is about the word, and essentially it's the actual letter of each word. It's not like scribblings from the caves or something like that. As Franz Bardon said, to be the master of the Kabbalah is to be a sovereign being of the micro and macrocosm. So microcosm is anything as finite and small below atomic into, quark smallness. You're mastering the realms of the elemental planes, spheres and dimensions, and the macrocosm is obviously going out to the planetary, solar, stellar, cosmic worlds. We'll just work with our local zodiac constellations as we go along, but we'll go into the depth of that. So it's mastership of the five elemental principles of sound, color. There we go. So you can see it. Sound, color, number, shape, and vibration. Okay, sound, color, number, shape, and vibration. All right, so the shape of our bodies determine how we're looking. Shape of a vehicle, shape of a house, shape of a dog, different types of dogs, different types of cats, different types of fish, different shapes. So essentially we'll be getting into all the very, very different fundamental aspects, all the basics and basics. So each letter is in the beginning, the word was with God. So God is the gospel. So you go and you spell. As you spell is where the power is. So you're actually understanding the letter. I'll do my best to explain this in English. It lets forth an energy in each of the principal worlds of the elements, which of course starts with the akasha or the ether, then into the mental plane to the air, and then via the astral, the emotional plane, and then obviously into the physical and the material plane. So each letter, color, and sound has an attribute in each one of those planes and energies. And you might say, is the letter coming from us, or is it reflecting the sound or the vibration of the universe? And it's a combination thereof. So we are young suns, as it were, or fallen angels, or cosmonauts, or beings in this plane and dimension. However, mastering the Kabbalah usually takes lifetimes. So you obviously have done this in past cycles, whether you were present, you don't have to believe a word I say, but understand this, you've been doing this a very long time. So it's where you're getting back to, and that's the energy. Principally, thank you all so much for being here. I'm very, very honored to do this, and it's going to be a great experience for you all. We'll go through each letter. Now, each letter has a tone. All right, for example, we'll be starting with A, and A is to sky blue or light blue. I prefer sky blue because it's the first color that you really see as a child, where the blue of the sky, and which actually relates more to the element that it has as well. Each letter has an element. Now, in the Bardon's work, in the True Kabbalah, the elements transition. Some of the letters have several elements attached to them. I'll do it from the highest back so that you understand that there's 6 primal fire sounds, 6 primal water sounds, 6 to the ether, 6 to the earth, and 3 to the air, which will make up our 27 colors and sounds fundamentally. All right, there's a lot to absorb, so these actual colors and sounds will help you work with absorption and memory retention, as well as all the other fundamental attributes. I'll be going through the attributes because fundamentally at the basic level it's what the virtue of each letter means. It has a qualitative and a quantitative energy. This is why when we're preparing you in the different areas of our initiation hermetics, you learn to do the torus field. The torus field is a 4-dimensional sphere. This will help you with what Bardon and many of the ancient mystery schools relate to as the tetragrammaton, or the tetragrammaton. All right, the tetragrammaton, or macabres, and all the advanced meditative principles that the masters have learnt to exit time and space, as it were, or move through other dimensions and planes. Pretty advanced stuff. Well, this isn't for beginners. It's not even for advanced. You're doing Kabbalah now, and this is learning the ABCs, and this is how masters learn how to communicate and telepath and empath and aspects of things that are just absolutely impossible to the average person. So as we go through it, I'll do my best to explain the color, the sound, the tone, the vibration, the element, and also its tributes. They'll relate. Every single letter relates to a certain part of the body. So we're going beyond the basic aspects of fire in the head region, air in the chest, water to the abdomen, and earth to the legs. They're principal and very, very useful still, but we're now starting to work, you're going into advanced chemistry, medicinal herb, you're going to layer everything that you do together, and it's going to come into some nice little neat funnels, so things work, exponentially and esoterically very well for you. All right. As we do it, we'll go through each of the meditations. We just want to go through them for about 10 to 15 minutes, and by no means we're mastering any of this because it takes a while. And as Bardon said, some of his students took 3 to 6 months to master the first letter. However, because of the time sensitivity of this world at the moment, you're going to get the super advanced course, crammed. Several months and years of work is going to go through your body in a few hours, and it's just not generally possible for the average person, but you better hang on because this is it. I'm also going to refer to notes. I generally don't do this because I've just done it for so many years. This is my 40th year in working with this kind of knowledge and work. I started in 85 with a doctor, he was a Doctor of Divinity, William Cook Edwards, in the School of Inner Knowledge. We're also doing advanced martial arts and things like that with ninjutsu and so on and so forth. So my skill sets are quite good, and I wish to do this, and this is obviously what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, is teaching these kind of workshops. All right, as we go along, you'll have to be patient. Now, once again, the more natural the color, the better the results. So it's something, if it's a blood red, it'll be like your blood because it's life force rather than, obviously the generic sort of colors that are around you. So you want rich color, energy, and texture because your physical body is basically a map of the cosmos as well as the microcosm. You're carrying, 70 trillion, cells with 70 trillion atoms or something along those lines. I won't even go into the actual stats of that kind of thing, but you're carrying like microcosms within you as well. So mastership of this is through sound. So as we know, there are many cultures that start off with sound being the first things, but when we work with this, you'll understand things work faster than light speed. They work simultaneously in the universe. Light speed's actually, it's a speed, but it's actually quite slow. And when we go into advanced meditations such as macabre, I'll explain why we work with frequencies of speed of light and sound and so on and so forth. All right. So let's get into this. Everyone ready to go? First sound is A. Now the shape of the letter A, I will bring up a chart later for you so that you understand that these were not scribblings on cave walls and we just learned, through grunting. These things are actually a language of light. It was given to man by very advanced beings, all right, that, obviously came from areas such as Samaria, and they passed it down through Egypt and through the kingships, as well as in the East as well. That family is a little bit beyond my explanation today for what we're doing. However, that family, you might as well call them a family of gods or god kings and queens, and they were given this language of light to us. So it has an alpha omega aspect to it, and each of the sounds have a sonic. All right, so I'll prove it when I bring out what was happening with Stan Tennant's work